So you're going into a meeting. You've got to meet with a sort of hot-headed employee of yours who constantly lets her ego get out of control and causes issues. Before you go in to talk to her, you're actually going to say to yourself, okay, number one, here, you could do almost like what we call a SMEAC brief: situation, mission, execution, command and signal, and admin and logistics, which means, what's the situation I'm going into? Okay, I've got a egotistical employee. She loses her temper. She can get emotional about things. That's the situation that I'm going into. And I've got to deliver her some bad news. So that's my mission. So there's the situation. Here's the mission. Here's the execution. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take ownership. I'm going to clearly state why this is happening. And I'm going to make sure that she understands what shortfalls there were and what can be done to correct those things. So you write that stuff down. Now, next level is you go and actually role play it. And you're like, hey, Dave, hey, bro, listen, I got a meeting this afternoon with Jamie, and I've got to tell her that we're pulling her off that project. And you know what she's like. Can you run through this with me a few times? Because she's probably going to get really mad that I'm giving the project to Leif. And Dave, who's, a peer of mine, trusted agent, is like, oh yeah, that's going to be a big issue. Deal with Jamie. So, and then you can role play it. Role play it a couple times, and you want Dave to give you the worst possible Jamie, and I go in and sit and go through those things. Hey, Jamie, listen, this is my fault. I actually assigned too many people to this project, and we're just not going to need this many people. And because of that, I'm going to have to pull you off this project. I'm actually just going to let Leif run the whole thing. And it's not because of what you did. It's actually because of a mistake that I made. And the next project that comes along, I'm going to give you lead on it. Okay, cool. Now Dave says back, this is ridiculous. And I say, you know what? It is kind of ridiculous. And it's ridiculous that I made this mistake. So there's one de-escalation. I just learned one de-escalation. What a great mirroring de-escalation when you reflect and diminish. When Dave role-playing Jamie says, this is ridiculous. And I say, this is ridiculous. I know. I can't believe that I overmanned that project. I really apologize. And I say, listen, Jamie, I actually understand why you feel that way. And I'd probably feel that way too. In fact, I kind of feel like I don't deserve to work here anymore. Oh, I just turned that into a little funny. I got a pre-planned little comedic situation to take it down a level. Okay, so there's an option depending on the mood. So then we do this 3 or 4 or 5 times. I've written it down. I've actually rehearsed it. Now I go and execute the mission. I go in, I talk to Jamie. Of course, she flies off the handle. But through my excellence, I'm able to de-escalate the situation, and we get it calmed down, and I walk out. Maybe I debrief with Dave, but maybe I don't. Maybe I just pull out my notebook and I'm like, hey, here was the situation. Here was the mission. Did I go in there? Yep. Or maybe I go in there and I blow it. And I say, Jamie, I'm pulling you off the mission. She goes, this is so dumb. You can't make good decisions. I'm the one that should be on that project. And I go, you're right, Jamie. You go ahead and stay on the project. And then my debrief is like, you failed here. Here's why you failed. You didn't rehearse what you were going to say if she demanded to stay on the project. And you folded. You didn't have a good comeback. Didn't have a good rebuttal. So there's your debrief. And now we learn because we know what mistakes we made. Now that's kind of what I don't like about the example that I just gave is that it's a very particular example of a situation. But where I would really like you to do this is you have a meeting every day. You have a meeting with your team. That's a standard thing. It's not it's not a one-off meeting. It's a daily meeting. So for you to be like, hey, listen, I'm going to get in there. I've got these 3 points to brief. I want to be simple, clear, and concise. I want to get a back brief from someone in the room. So you make a plan before you go in there, and then you walk in there and you try and execute. And when you get done, you say, did I get that done? Was it simple, clear, and concise? Did I get a back brief from someone? Okay, I did pretty good. So write down the mission, what the execution is going to be, go do the execution, and then debrief yourself.